Yo, good evening, USA, Canada, International, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregory, and a YouTuber, host with the most misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, and of course, Queens, New York native, and rookie podcaster of Queens, New York. And you're rocking, listening, tuning in to the 266th episode of Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast. Live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube, alongside with myself, is the Instagram live feed. So be sure you follow the podcast on Instagram, and you can actually turn on your notifications for any details of updates, any postponements or questions that I might throw down or anything like that. So there you have it right there. And I hope y'all had yourselves a nice Mother's Day weekend. I know plenty of people have. I know some people had to work on Mother's Day, which is kind of it's not really rare, but you get the gist. But anyway, if you are new to the channel and you missed any previous episodes whatsoever, please go ahead and grab that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page of G Money Stacks 555, where you see all the New York episodes on there. And of course, leave a like and a comment along with the episodes. Along with the topics. Be sure to stay tuned for more of your content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes, and of course, along with sharing the episodes, sharing the videos. Be sure to listen, stream, and watch the episodes in case you miss any of them whatsoever. Download the episodes, and of course, you can leave a voice message. You can leave a voice message in terms of what you thought about the topics and everything else in between. So, yes. So tell a friend to another friend, and of course, I will handle the rest at the end of the show. All right. I do apologize for being a little late because I had to not only restart my laptop, but I also had to restart my Wi-Fi because it was disabled. So I do apologize for that one right there. Um all right. So before I get into anything, let me see who's in the live chat real quick on Instagram. Hold on. Um, yeah, must get scorned. Okay, shouts to must get scorned. All right, so all right, so because it is mental health check-in month, it's time for our segment right here. Um, our segment right here is mental health check-in. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about the cause and effect of mental health. And before I get into that, I'm going to talk about how I'm feeling mentally, physically, and spiritually, in case anybody's asking. Yes, so how I'm feeling mentally, physically, and spiritually. Well, I had to. I've been kind of like I've been kind of like a little all well, I'm not gonna say I'm a little all over the place, but I had to take some time for myself actually. Um, so hopefully in the upcoming weeks I'll be able to get my rhythm back. That's one of the things that I'm struggling with. But you know, um, I will say I was inspired yesterday by a virtual live stream of the people who put together the office hours of Spotify for podcasters. There was a fellow podcaster who I actually was able to ask some questions and stuff. And and a couple of things a couple of things he said, and I have to really agree. Um, as a podcaster, of course, you want to have fun. You don't want to think too much about sponsorships. You don't want to think too much about the numbers of views, the streamers, and all that. So all that comes, all that comes. So I'm just gonna really wing it out and just have fun. I'm not worried about being under a network at the moment. I'm not really worried about any of that at the moment. I'm not because I know for a fact, and I said this, and I say this all the time, that ownership is important as a podcaster who creates its own show, and I'm going to continue to say this because, um, like I said previously, it was from an episode of Grassroots Podcast, and the crew was talking about ownership and how important it is to actually keep something that you created and started, not give it away to corporations, um, podcast corporations of networks. You know what I'm saying? Um, because they're not the ones that started the podcast. It's you that started the podcast. All right. Um, I just wanted to get that out the way. So, just a little warm up. So, yes, we are going to be talking about the cause and effect of our mental health today. So, let's get into it right here. Yeah, so overall, mentally, physically, and spiritually, I am doing all right. So, let me just put that out there. Okay, so let's get into the cause and effect of our mental health. What is the root cause of it? Hold on a second. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. Okay. Um, hold on a minute here. Hold on. Okay, so all right, so let me see. So there's some what other types of mental. Well, let's see. So mental health problem, symptoms, causes, and effects. Okay, so here we go. And this is from siteguides.com. Um, I'm going to actually cite where I got my information from. So, anyway, so mental health problems can cover a broad range of disorders, but the common characteristics is that they all affect the affected person's personality, um, thought processes, or social interactions. They can be difficult to clearly diagnose, unlike physical illnesses, according to the data from SAMHSA. 20% of people in America suffer from a form of mental disorder, and 5% suffer from a disorder severe enough to affect school, work, or other aspects of daily life. If you think that you or someone you know has a mental illness, you can with a mental disorder, you can of course I don't see the number on here, but anyway, yeah, you can talk to your local actually you can talk to your hold on a second. If I could find the I don't know if number. Uh, uh, no. If you ain't fine. Yeah, phone blowing is but anyway, what are the types of mental sorry about that, folks. This has had a little glitch, but all right, we can keep going. All right. So, where was I? Yes, so there is no single cause for mental health disorders. Instead, they can be caused by a mixture of biological, psychological, and environmental factors. People who have a family history of mental health disorders may be more prone to developing one at some point. Changes in brain chemistry from substance abuse or changes in diet can also cause mental disorders. Okay, psychological factors and environmental factors such as upbringing and social exposure can form the foundations for harmful thought patterns associated with mental disorders. Only a certified mental health professional can provide an accurate diagnosis of the causes of given disorder. So, what are the signs of a mental health disorder? Mental health disorders exist in broad categories: anxiety disorders, mood disorders, psychotic disorders, personality disorders, and impulse control disorders. If someone you know experiences erratic thought patterns, unexplained changes in mood, lack of interest in socializing, lack of empathy, inability to tell the difference between reality and fantasy, or a seeming lack of control, that person may have a mental health disorder. This is by no means a complete list of symptoms. Um, Emotional symptoms of mental health problems. Mental health problems can cause a wide variety of emotional symptoms, some of which include changes in mood, erratic thinking, chronic anxiety, exaggerated sense of self-worth, and impulsive actions. Okay, so we have physical symptoms of mental health problems. Mental health problems typically do not cause physical symptoms in and of themselves. Depression, however, can indirectly cause weight loss, fatigue, and loss of libido, um, among others. Eating disorders, which I probably may talk about that in a separate episode. A separate class of mental mental health disorders can cause malnutrition. Malnutrition, weight loss, um, amen- amenorrhea, amenorrhea in women, or electrolyte imbalances caused by self-induced vomiting. Damn, that's gotta suck though, man. That has to really suck, man. Jeez, that has to really suck though, man. That, oh, yeah, that really has to suck right there though, man. Unfortunately, and you know, I would say this though, man. This is more disgusting than one of the podcasters from the last episode. In case nobody didn't know, shouts to Rod from the Friends podcast for joining me on the Instagram live feed. For those of you who may not know, he asked me in regards to Lotto, who is selling used drawers, and I was like, and I should have did this knowing how disgusting that shit is going to be. Yeah, that part right there, man. I'm not gonna really be doing that right there though. Um anyway, 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 um this makes eating disorders among the most deadly of mental health disorders. Okay, so short-term and long-term effects of mental health instability. In the short term, mental health problems can cause people to be a- alienated from their peers because of perceived unattractive personality traits or behaviors. They can also cause anger, fear, sadness, and feelings of helplessness if the person does not know or understand what is happening. In the long term, mental health disorders can drive a person to commit suicide. Whoa, damn, son. Damn. Yeah, that's very scary. That's very scary right there, though, man. That's very scary. That's very scary right there. That's very scary, folks. It's not something you could play around with. Let's see. Yeah, yes. According to the National Institute for Mental Health, over 90% of suicides have depression or another mental disorder as factors. So, let's see. So, is there a test or self-assessment I can do? It is hard, bordering on impossible, to accurately diagnose yourself for mental disorders with an excuse me, not outline, but online questionnaire. You do not have an objective view of yourself, and you are bound to answer questions inaccurately. Also, online tests are not comprehensive, so they do not check for all possible symptoms. Only a face to face session with a qualified mental health professional can begin to diagnose a mental health disorder with any degree of accuracy because that professional has an outside viewpoint and can pick up on subtle cues. Man, so there's medication drug options for mental health issues. Fortunately, prescription drugs can be used to treat mental health disorders in conjunction with behavioral therapy or cognitive therapy. Antidepressants, mood stabilizers, and antipsychotics are the broad types of medication prescribed to treat mental illness. Um, so, mental health drugs, possible options, depending on the disorder, different medications will be prescribed. Antidepressants, such as um, Paxil, Zoloft, Prozac, and a variety of SSRIs, SNRIs, and MAOIs can be used to treat depression. Mood stabilizers such as lithium tablets are used to treat bipolar disorder, as are anticonvulsants like Depakote, antipsychotics like um, olanzapine or clozapine are used to treat schizophrenia or psychotic depression. All right. Let's see what else. Um, let's see. So, let me. I'm gonna skip the help for a mental health issue. It's important that you or your loved one should seek help to treat mental health issue. First, a physical checkup can rule out physical illness. An appointment with a mental health professional will usually include an interview and subsequent evaluation to determine the most obvious symptoms and to ascertain the type of severity of mental disorder, excuse me. In certain cases, an intervention may be required from family and friends. If you or someone needs help, you can call us at to get more information on treatment. Um, living with mental health disorder can be extremely challenging as it is. No, excuse me, as it can often significantly disrupt daily life, relationships, and overall well-being. Hold on, let's take a look here. Let's take a look here. If there's a phone number, I don't think there's a phone number. I'm sorry. Yeah, nah, yeah, nah. Let me not. Okay, so all right, let's keep going here. Let's keep going here. Let's keep going. Yes. So, okay. So, let me see. Where was I? Where was I? Yes. If you are struggling with a mental health disorder and have not found relief through traditional treatment options, ketamine therapy may be worth considering as it has shown promising result in clinical studies for a range of mental health conditions including anxiety, chronic pain, bipolar disorder, depression, OCD, and PTSD. Of course, if you are interested in learning about ketamine for mental health, find a ketamine treatment center near you. I'm gonna do a separate episode on the ketamine, OCD. I already covered. I already covered anxiety already, and I already covered bipolar disorder. Um, and I think I covered the depression as well. Okay. Yes, so additional resources. As advocates of mental health and wellness, we take great pride in educating our readers on the various online therapy providers available. Site Guides has partnered with several thought leaders in the mental health and wellness space so we can help you make informed decisions on your wellness journey. Site Guides may receive marketing um, compensation from these companies should you choose to use their services. Okay, so here's some options here. So you have BetterHelp online therapy ratings and review. Wait, yeah, ratings and reviews. Yeah. Well, hold on a minute here. It's not really an option. This is just some resources actually. Yeah, this is yeah. Anyway, BetterHelp online therapy ratings and reviews. BetterHelp offers online therapy services from licensed professionals through an easy to use website and app. To get matched with a virtual therapist, complete a brief questionnaire online or click here to claim 20% off of your first month. Regain online therapy ratings and reviews. Um, Online couples counseling has never been easier thanks to Regain. Their licensed therapists specialize in helping couples improve communication skills to resolve conflict in healthy ways. Get matched with a relationship counselor today. Teen counseling online therapy ratings and reviews. Teen counseling is a leading provider of online therapy for teens. Teens can communicate with their therapist via video, phone, messaging, and live chat. Find the right teen counselor for your needs. Talkspace online therapy ratings and reviews. Licensed therapists and psychiatrists are available for virtual sessions via Talkspace. From virtual counseling to medication management services, Talkspace online therapy may be covered by your insurance provider. Yes, and site guides may receive marketing compensation from the above listed companies. You should choose to use their services. So this is some of the resources that can help you. All right. And and of course, your health insurance covers mental health too. You know what I'm saying? So remember, your your health insurance is covered by your mental health is covered by health insurance. Remember that. Anyway, so let's get to our okay, let's get into the New York Mass Transit files. Um Real quick. Let's get it. Okay. Um all right, um we're gonna get into some transit stuff. So let's get into the MTA. So ahead of Earth Day, which was most recently, um, the MTA announced a plan Thursday to reduce 85% of its carbon emissions by 2040, a full decade before the state of New York is required by statute statute statute, excuse me, to do um to do the same. On April 20th, MTA Chair General Lieber joined transit brass elected officials and advocates announced that the agency is intent on going greener, not by smoking doobies, but by reducing its carbon footprint just in time for Earth Day. This already happened. It happened Saturday, April 22nd. The MTA is the antidote to climate change, Lieber said at Bowling Green on Thursday, noting that New York's mass transit system already prevents up to 20 million metric tons of carbon being emitted every year by keeping people out of private cars. If New York City residents drove as much as the average American, we would have to accommodate another 4.5 million cars and a parking lot the size of the entire island entire island of Manhattan. The city transit system far more comprehensive than any other American city is a crucial component keeping New Yorkers carbon footprint comparatively low. The plan, first reported by Bloomberg and detailed by MTA construction chief Jamie Torres Springer, would reduce the transit agency's emissions by 85% below 2015 levels. Within 17 years, the MTA emits about 2 million metric tons of carbon per year. Torres Springer said, but prevents about 22 million metric tons that would otherwise be emitted if transit riders drove instead. The framework is preceding what the agency promises to be a full climate plan in the fall. A third of the target would be met by an existing plan to electrify the MCA's 5,800 strong city bus fleet, said Torres Springer. The MTA currently has 15 all electric buses in order for 60 more was supposed to arrive by the end of 2022, but has been delayed. While the agency plans to award contracts for another 470 buses and is currently building an all-electric depot in Jamaica, Queens. In its 2022 bus transition plan, the MTA promised to purchase and deploy 560 battery electric buses by 2025, with later purchases potentially including buses powered by hydrogen fuel cells. Oh boy. Um, on its commuter rails, the MTA is not at the point of phasing out emissions spewing diesel trains, which run in far flung locals where tracks aren't electrified. But both the Long Island Railroad and Metro North will buy more dual mode trains that will run on diesel where necessary and on electric power where it's available. The agency is also phasing out diesel power on its subway work trains, which are used to transport workers, materials, and waste and are not in revenue service, and replacing them with hybrids. On the subways, the MTA is piloting cutting edge regenerative braking technology, which stores electric energy generated from hitting the brakes to be reused later for propulsion. Traditional traction power for electrified railroads currently makes up two-thirds of the MTA's energy consumption, said Torres Springer. The framework also calls for energy efficiency upgrades for the Transit Authority's 16 million square feet of facility space. That plan will include the installation of solar panels and other clean energy infrastructure and replacing old boilers and HVAC units with modern greener technology. Whether the MTA can accomplish its lofty climate goals, especially a decade before the state writ large, may depend on financial stability that is anything but certain. One of the key planks of debate in the now 3 weeks late state budget is MTA funding, as the agency faces down a $600 million deficit this year amid sluggish post-pandemic ridership recovery. Oh boy. Recovery. Yes, Governor Kathy Hochul and the legislature have proposed substantially deferring plans on how to achieve financial stability for the authority. Much of the plan relies on capital money, which is budgeted separately for long term infrastructure projects. But a key component of the NTA's capital plan relies on $15 million of revenue from congestion pricing, which would charge motorists entering Manhattan's central business district and direct money to mass transit. 4 years after being approved by Albany, the program is still mired in bureaucratic red tape and needs a final thumbs up from the federal government. Jeez, $15 million. Man. All right, on to Uber. On to Uber. Yes, Uber unveiled a new feature in its app Wednesday that will allow New York City riders and drivers to record audio of their trip, but not necessarily with the others' knowledge. Hmm. New York joins 150 other U.S. cities and dozens more around the globe where Uber has rolled out the feature, which it says is designed to improve safety and comfort during trips for both parties. Users can enable the feature in the app's safety toolkit. After doing that during a trip, drivers and riders can tap a blue shield icon to begin recording the trip. If one party starts recording, the other party is not informed. Um, We're committed to investing in innovative technology to enhance safety on the platform, and we are excited to bring this important feature to New York City, said Andy Pimentel Dunn, Uber's product manager, in a statement. We hope that by expanding this safety tool, we can continue to give riders and drivers peace of mind and encourage more comfortable interactions while on trips. When a trip is completed, the audio file is automatically encrypted and stored on the user's phone. It cannot be accessed by another party by the other party and can only be accessed by higher ups at Uber if the user submits the recording in a complaint. A trained safety agent will then be able to listen to the recording, assess what happened, and determine what, if any, redress um is necessary. Hmm. Okay, so the move. Hold on a second here. What's going on here? Yes, so the move is intended to provide a sense of reassurance and security to riders and drivers worried about taking a car ride with a stranger. Both riders and drivers have been the victims of heinous crimes during Uber rides in New York City and across the across the country, including harassment, assault, sex crime, and even murder. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Uber says that in many cases, the audio recordings have helped get to the bottom of disputes and resolve safety issues. Drivers are not notified when a rider starts recording, and vice versa. Uber says in order to prevent potential conflicts. But if a rider is matched with a driver who is already recording, that information is visible to the rider, a spokesperson for the rider share giant said. The secrecy aspect has some drivers concerned. In South Dakota, one driver told a local news program that he was concerned with he was concerned with the potential for riders to abuse the recordings by submitting misleadingly timed or edited video in an attempt to secure a free ride. You can request a song to be played that might have questionable language and be asked to turn it up. And you want to please your passengers. The anonymous driver told reporters at Dakota News Now. Then they start recording and complain that you were blaring music and want to get a free ride. That's a significant concern to um, Bharavi Desai, leader of the New York Taxi Workers Alliance, representing thousands of cabbies and rideshare drivers in the five boroughs. While recording, while the recording feature superficially appears to level the playing field of he said, she said allegations with hard evidence in effect, Uber almost always takes the side of the rider in disputes, the side said. We know which side they find to be expandable, and so there is a real problem where drivers often have conflicts with riders, and Uber just takes the word of the passenger, and the driver could lose their job. The side told AM and AM New York Metro. The penalty to a driver when there there's even an allegation is really severe. Drivers have little due process in the event of suspension from the app, the side said, um, arguing that the threat of deactivation is akin to a sword hanging over the neck of Uber's workforce. Drivers can appeal their deactivations, but the appeal process is controlled by Uber. The union head is pushing for an appeal process overseen independently, possibly by city agencies. In the absence of real due process and the constant threat of being fired, the idea that you can record a passenger seems like it could be comforting, Desai said. But I think it's more of a Trojan horse. Trojan horse, huh? Albert, no, excuse me, Albert Fox Khan, an activist who funded the surveillance technology oversight project, says the program is transparently unhelpful, using capabilities already built into any smartphone and fails to address safety concerns at their roots. End quote. I think surveillance isn't the solution when we look at improving ride shares. To me, it's baffling how this world actually improve the safety of any single trip, said Khan. This is using the exact same camera and microphone that every smartphone can already access through the photo app. So it seems rather than addressing the real drivers of safety concerns, Uber is trying to find a shortcut through the sort of recording gimmick. This feels like trying to reinvent the wheel, Khan continued. This really is just putting the Uber logo on something built into every device. Uber has begun notifying customers and drivers of the new feature through its app and over email. and notifications will continue pouring in through the coming days. The audio recording feature was rolled out in select cities in December 2021. Last year, Uber began testing video recording features in its app in the Big Apple, along with Louisville, Cincinnati, and the cities of Santos and Brazil. Okay, so let's see what we have. All right, so a bill. Okay, we need to talk about this. So we need to talk about this. Hold on a second. We need to talk about yeah, we need to talk about a bill to raise minimum wage. So let's get into it right here in our little segment right here called um chatting on the jazz right here, man. So let's get into it right here. Yes. So there is a bill in involving raising the minimum wage. And I'm not sure how that shit's gonna work, but let's get into it right here. So a Senate committee will soon take up a bill that would more more than double the minimum wage, though the legislation chances of passage are slim. Senator Bernie Sanders, an independent from Vermont who chairs the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, said a $17 an hour minimum wage is needed to help workers keep pace with the rising cost of living across the United States. I'm delighted to announce this morning that on June 14th, the Senate Help Committee will be marketing up a bill to raise the minimum wage to $17 an hour over a 5-year period. Sanders announced Thursday. The senator's suggesting a $2 increase from his 2021 proposal is designed to keep pace with inflation. Sanders said in remarks decrying congressional inaction. The last minimum wage bill passed by Congress was in 2008. You think it's time to raise it? I do. And most Americans do. So we're going to do our best to get this off to the floor as soon as we can. Address be impossible to survive on and maybe some of on 7 and a quarter and see what that's like. Sanders said as the workers behind him audibly agreed. When asked about the bill's prospects in a chamber narrowly controlled by Democrats, senators warned those who oppose the popular idea would face political consequences. We're focusing on making sure that we have the votes in the Senate and the House to raise the minimum Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, so in 2021, 8 members of the Senate Democratic Caucus joined all the Republican counterparts in voting down Sanders' proposal to raise the minimum hourly hourly wage to $15 per hour. Sanders had also introduced the Raise the Wage Act in the previous three Congresses, with all other iterations failing to make it out of committee. Manchin argued at the time that many localities had already adopted higher minimum wage requirements than the ones set by the federal government. Bernie has chosen $15, and you know what? An awful lot of area areas and states have moved to $15 and now to $15. Manchin said on ABC. News on said on ABC News this week on March 7th, 2021, when he pushed instead for a more modest $11 an hour federal minimum wage that would increase each year with inflation. Senator Mark Warner said that corporations might be tempted to offshore work if the minimum wage were too high. As Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, um, lousy piece of shit, accused Democrats of pushing economic policies that would drag down our recovery, like the House votes for a one size fits all minimum wage policy that would kill 1.4 million jobs. A $15 minimum wage hike could cost 1.4 million jobs while also lifting 900,000 Americans out of poverty, according to a Congressional Budget Office report from 2021. Let's see. Let's see. There's also more on that one. And speaking of a bill, it's also another one in regards to the tickets as far as like entertainment places. So let's get into it right here. Um Patrons of local entertainment and sports venues won't get scalped at the last minute by big time ped- peddlers anymore, thanks to a bill to pass the city council this week. The proposed local law, which has overwhelmingly support on the city council, will force ticket selling websites such as StubHub and Ticketmaster to come clean on their hefty handling and service fees before patrons click to buy tickets to local venues online. Um, Whether it's a concert or a ball game, these companies need to stop fleecing fans, said former hardcore punk rock guitarist and councilman Justin Brennan, who sponsored the bill to the Post. By requiring sellers to list the all in price up front, my bill will end the era of bait and switch advertising on ticket prices, Brennan said. Don't advertise that tickets are $20 when by the time you are done paying all sorts of surprise fees, they are gonna cost $80. Oof, $80. Sheesh. For tickets, mm, it's not a lot, but it's not bad. I think you'll see how a little transparency can make things more fair for everyone, Brennan said. The added fees for events at places such as Madison Square Garden, Yankee Stadium, and Broadway theaters can run as high as 30% of the price of the ticket, he said. Brandon first pitched the proposal in 2018, but the council wasn't sold on the idea then, although it now seems to have more than enough backing to make it into law. The new proposals rather doesn't cap how much the big market ticket companies can charge for additional fees, but Brennan says he hopes the restriction would embarrass the sellers into being more reasonable. The bill comes up for a vote Tuesday and can hit ticket sellers with fines up to $500 for each violation. The measure comes out of the council's Committee on Consumer and Worker Protection, and if approved, would amend the city's administrative code. Hmm. Well, good luck with that one. We'll see how it goes. Well, yeah. All right, let's see what we got on the agenda to talk about here. Yes. So, um, oh my gosh. Okay, so, all right. Let me see how much time we got here. All right, so let's get to. Oh boy, let's get to. Before I even go to Doja Cat. Um, so so I recently was watching the Breakfast Club, and this was involving of course a heated discussion between DJ Envy and Eboni K Williams from Holding Court podcast. So in case anybody didn't know, the Breakfast Club's DJ Envy and lawyer, author, including podcaster Eboni K Williams got into a heated exchange on Thursday, May 4th, over her viral interview with Ayan Ayanla Van Zent about dating a bus driver. While sitting in as a guest on the BT Now partnered radio show, Williams explained her stance on why she shouldn't, no, why she wouldn't date the everyday worker. In her initial sentiments, which were that she would only date a bus driver if he owns the bus, caused much debate online, with some agreeing and others criticizing her thoughts. Later in the original interview, Van Zant declared that Williams' ideas further add to the unrealistic dating standards of today. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. Let's see. Yes. 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 Can we just get this out of here? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay, so let's see. All right. Um Williams' stance not only had the internet in an uproar, but also pushed for Envy to press her on the topic of mediocrity during Thursday's show. The radio personality called her out for being hypocritical with the things she writes in her books, such as advocating pro black rhetoric to black men while dating other races. He also expressed how they both are trying to uplift black people. The difference being that he doesn't put people down in the process. And how do you talk about how much you are uplifting and going for black people when that's not even what you are looking for? Envy sparked the debate, to which Williams, who has a white ex fiance, responded, I would love to know, DJ Envy, how you know what I'm looking for. From there, Envy, aka Rashawn Casey, shared both his parents were exceptional, even if they had what she deemed to be mediocre everyday everyday jobs. He then ranted how his parents worked hard to put him through college, and for that he doesn't look at them or anyone else in those positions as average. Everyday declared that he felt Williams was shitting on the working class, to which she said that his remark was dead ass wrong. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. DJ Envy went on to stress that average workers are what keep the lights on and him booked and paid. He also expressed that her words offend the very people who support her and buy her books. The two agreed to disagree. Ahead of the viral conversation between her and the Breakfast Club, the 39-year old posted a video responding to the massive backlash received for her comments. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, she's definitely wrong on this one, man. And I don't know, man. This is just beyond. Man, this is crazy. Anyway, um, anyway, where was I? Ahead of the viral conversation between her and the Breakfast Club, the 39-year-old posted a video responding to the massive backlash received for her comments. I am actually speaking and pouring into the session of black men when I said what I said. The Griot correspondent started. See, some of y'all were too busy naming and shaming me personally and black women in general as undesirable gold diggers and much worse. She added, now I suspect that some of y'all are the same when that we're bringing home C's and D's on your report card, only then to be coddled by parents that said, well, that's okay as long as you are doing your best. Well, listen, I love and believe in the excellence of the black men. So, no, my dears, C's and D's or any other form of mediocrity is not okay. So I'm gonna say it one more time. There's absolutely nothing wrong with driving a bus. My mother Gloria drove one for years, but could it be that black men in America have been sold a narrative of average, regular, and typical being good enough for us? She continued. Well, see, that's called white supremacy. In this case, it takes the form of conditioning black Americans to happily accept being a permanent American underclass. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, man. I've been waiting to say this actually, man. I've been waiting to say I've been waiting to say some things actually. So I'm gonna have to really man. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Time to go into the venting mode actually. Actually, yeah, venting mode right here. Okay, you know what this story reminds me of? An old interview by Damon Dash. The same guy who is shitting on workers for having a boss. You're shitting on hardworking people who have a boss. Like seriously, because look, not everybody can be entrepreneurs, all right? Not everybody is built like him. And this is coming from a guy who sold drugs in the streets. Okay. He sold drugs in the streets. And on top of that, um, that's what that reminds me of. Especially look, in the case of Ebony K Williams, I'm all for having preferences of what type of particular person that she likes. I'm all for that. But you go around shitting on hardworking people, and I'm gonna use myself as an example too. I work at a supermarket as an essential worker for Bit Lots supermarket for 5 years straight, and I'm actually proud to do that. Now, to say that people who are hardworking people are considered average, I don't know if I don't know if I would really like somebody saying that I'm an average person as far as mediocrity. And I think both Dame Dash and Ebony K Williams are both hypocrites, okay? Look, it's one thing to say that you are trying to uplift people, but how do you do that if you shitting on hardworking people? Not everybody can be not everybody can be the same as other people in classes with A's and B's. Not everybody's geniuses. Not everybody's geniuses at all. The same way not everybody has the same learning ability as far as like, being smart or whatever case scenario may be. It takes time to develop intelligence. It takes time to, you know, develop better grades or whatever. Like you I don't even want to call it coddling. I don't even want to call it coddling because you don't know what a student might be going through. You don't know what students go through. You don't know how hard it is for them to get A's and B's in all their classes, and some of this, and there'll be some difficult questions that are basically you know hard to actually answer because look, not everybody can be a Doogie Howser with a high IQ, high SAT scores, or whatever case scenario may be. But to shit on people because of the C's and D's and all that other shit, and on top of that, to shit on people because they're average, hardworking people. Come on, man. This is where the hypocrisy. This is where I hate with hypocritical people sometimes, man. And I'm not saying everybody is doing that, but it makes me feel a way, man. You don't know what a person is going through in order for them to make it to getting A's and B's. It's not really so much about coddling. It's about doing the best you can. Because look, not everyone, like I said, not everyone has a high IQ of intelligence, of having high grades or whatever. But it I feel like the grades and shit that we would that we were going through when we was in school and stuff like that, it doesn't really determine how successful you are. It doesn't determine how successful you are as far as you're trying to make a career out of something. Whether it's being a lawyer, whether it's being um an MTA bus driver or a nice bus operator or a Long Island a Long Island Railroad conductor, Metro North conductor, Uber, paratransit, whatever career field you desire and choose. Don't let anybody shit on you because you work with a boss or or you or you're considered average or whatever. Don't let anybody say that to you because at the same time, you work hard for your fucking money. Okay? Not everybody's from a rich family. And that shit is very annoying to me for me to hear. And regardless of how she said it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All I know is all I know is that these two, Dame Dash and Ebony K Williams, even though she's expressing herself and everything else in between, really need to be ashamed of themselves, man. I don't care how pretty you are whatsoever. I don't care how pretty you are whatsoever. But the shit on people who work hard and everything else in between, it's just it's just it's just beyond baffling to me. It's baffling. And that's just not fair, man. That ain't fair at all.
Why don't you look me up?
And there you have it though, man. There you have it. You basically chose to basically drown in your thoughts, man. Like it's like what are you doing? What even possessed you to say that we're fucking average people?
Oh no!
And that's about it for this story right here, man. Oh boy. Okay. Now that I got everything off my chest, speaking of getting something off the chest, of course, obviously, I think I may have talked about Chloe Bailey clapping back at album critics. I actually talked about this recently, so yeah, I already talked about it already. But in case you didn't hear this, but I'll just fill you in on that one right there. So here it is. All right, so Corey Bailey has addressed what online critics have to say about her latest album in pieces and didn't hold anything back. On Tuesday, the Have Mercy singer embarked on the first date of her debut solo tour, Chloe, the In Pieces tour. I've I've got another song to sing. I just wanted to say hi again, and she said on the Chicago stage, I couldn't let go of this feeling. Thank you all for supporting my motherfucking album. Um, Barely thanked the theater's sold out audience while also sending a clear message to her haters. Fuck what the fuck everybody got to fucking say. She said, they can kiss my black ass because I know you guys love me. And this is on need. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your energy. The 24-year-old artist released In Pieces on March 31st. It debuted at number 119 on the Billboard 200 chart and sold 10,000 units within the first week of its release. Um, on Monday, Bailey took to Twitter to explain what was most important when putting together her solo her debut solo project. In Pieces was about letting go and trusting myself, she wrote. I've enjoyed every moment of it, and I love everyone who listened to it. Tour starts. Yeah, she was on tour. Yeah, she was on tour in Chicago, and I'm perform these songs for y'all. Bailey has been receiving a lot of online criticism since debuting her solo singing career. This recently prompted her to hand over her social media accounts to her team, although she still creates content and comes up with her own captions. Um, the negative things people were saying about me were affecting me, and I noticed if I'd go out on stage or if I do this, people are going to say this. And I realized that I was changing myself for other people and their opinions and what they were accusing me of originally, which was not being myself and being forced. That's what I was turning into because I was so occupied with what people thought about me, said Bailey said in an interview on the Tamron Hall show. The second I deleted the apps off my phone, I was mentally so much clearer because you are doing what makes you happy. Bailey understands that having grown up in the public eye may be the reason why some critics can't come to terms with her image. I can't really fault them because none of us are supposed to like everything, she told Angela Yee in an interview. You can't please everybody just as much as you can't like everything. The artist looks up to her predecessors to maintain a positive attitude. Um, all of my favorites, they've all had a moment early in their careers when no one really liked them, Bailey added. She references Whitney Houston being booed at the Soul Train because because they said she wasn't black enough, or Janet Jackson, who looked down on because they said she was too sexy. I used to not understand it, and I used to be like, is there something wrong with me? She said. Now I'm like, okay, maybe it's a right. of passage. Maybe it's God telling me, Chloe, maybe just hold on a little longer. I don't expect everyone to like me, and I don't expect everyone to enjoy my music, she continued. I'm happy that they are tuning in and they are listening. So I don't fault them for it either. It's up to me to decide what I give my attention. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. I have to agree. All right. Okay, let's talk Doja Cat. Um, hold on a second. Yes, let's talk Doja Cat for a second. Okay, let me see how much time we got. Okay, Doja Cat looks like she's going to be making some changes to her music after renouncing her pop star title in the hopes of perfecting her rap game. On Saturday, April 8th, the woman art, recording artist took to Twitter where she revealed she's turning a new leaf. No more pop, she tweeted. I also agree with everyone who said the majority of my rap verses are mid. Hold on a second. Mid and corny, she continued, responding to her critics. I know they are. I wasn't trying to prove anything. I just enjoy making music, but I'm getting tired of hearing y'all say that I can't, so I will. When questioned about what inspired the new direction, with one fan insinuating her haters got the best of her, the chart topper admitted, pop isn't exciting to me anymore. I don't want to make it. Um, let's see. The proclamation was well received, with many claiming Doja is already dominating her competition. Cap, laugh out loud. You rap better than most rappers, regardless of gender, one user responded. Nah, you're being way too humble. You deserve to talk your shit in the rap sphere already, another user suggested. In a recent interview with Variety, Doja Cat chatting about her upcoming fourth studio album, Hellmouth, reveals she's taking a more masculine direction following the success of 2021's Planet Her. I know that I've done a lot of pink and soft things, a lot of pop and glittery sounds, she said. But for this next era, I'm going in a more masculine direction. Masculine direction. While keeping tight-lipped about a release date, Doja shared the release will be a mixture of hip hop and R&B. I just go straight to R&B if I'm alone, she said, adding she'll be going harder into that. Although Doja has sampled a variety of artists in the past, including Khalees, Blink 182, and B2K last year. When asked about her current inspirations, she told Days the iconic Beastie Boys were at the top of her list. If you wanted a teaser into what I've been thinking about, that's what I've been on a lot. And just to make it clear, Beastie Boys is a huge inspiration to me. Beastie Boys will hit you with hard, loud, and crazy rap, but they'll also hit you with real raw 90s punk, which I love, or smooth techno that feels sexy and sleek. And and you'll be like, where the fuck did this come from? Okay. Okay. And in other Doja Cat news, she was recently at the Met Gala. stepping out at the Met Gala, her first ever, Doja Cat inst- instantly delivered one of the evening's most internet breaking moments by channeling the one and only um, Choupette, Karl Lagerfeld's beloved cat. It makes no sense for anyone to go as Carl's cat more than Doja Cat, says Brett Allen Nelson, her creative director and stylist, who refers to the artist by her given name, Amala Zando uh, um, Delamini. The pair spent 6 months working with Oscar de la Renta, co-creative directors Laura Kim and Fernando Garcia on Doja's completely head-beaded gown featuring a face-framing hood punctuated by a pair of cat ears, kind of like the ones Catwoman had in the Batman. Oscar and Carl were very close. He says, um, "Hold on, one moment." I'm sorry about that. Hold on a minute. I'm sorry about that. If you didn't hear me, um, let me just let me just regroup. Let me just regroup. I'm sorry. Let me regroup. Stepping out at the Met Gala 2023, Doja Cat instantly delivered one of the evening's most internet breaking moments by channeling the one and only Choupette Karl Lagerfeld's beloved cat. It makes um it makes no sense for anyone to go as Carl's cat more than Doja Cat, says Brett Allen Nelson, her creative director and stylist, who refers to the artist by her given name, Amala Zando Delamini. The pair spent 6 months working with Oscar De La Renta, co-created, co-creative directors um, Laura Kim and Fernando Garcia. Um, yeah, Fernando Garcia. Um, hold on a second. Yes, Fernando Garcia on Doja's completely hand beaded gown featuring a face framing hood punctuated by a pair of cat ears. Oscar and Carl were very close. He says yes, and the look feels very Oscar, but also like something Chanel could do at a couture show. Um, of course, it was Doja Cat's idea to bring prosthetics into the beauty mix. Amala and I were very clear that we didn't want it to feel like a costume. And when you are adding that element of prosthetics, you are riding a very fine line, says Alan Nelson of reaching out to prosthetic artist Melina Stearns for an elegant homage to the feline heiress. She's not furry, but I had images of Chapette as references, says Stern, who cast Doja Cat's face for a molding about 2 months ago, perfecting the shape of the sculpt over time to get it perfect. Um, to ensure the overall look would read more beauty, less costume, makeup artist Ernesto Casillas ch- chose to keep a light hand. We wanted the makeup to read feline, but still soft and pretty, says Casillas. Doja and I agreed that we needed to do a thin and delicate cat inspired eyeliner. He says of using Charlotte Tilbury's the feline flick liquid eyeliner, which is coincidentally the perfect name and matched her lip color to her faux nose as a small but endearing detail using Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk collection on lips and cheeks. Then there were the jewels on top of the beauty. We decorated her with diamonds from Masika, adds Alan Nelson, who credited French artist and designer Arte as the inspiration for the jewel on Doja Cat's third eye. I mean, there's $1 million diamond that's just sitting in the middle of her forehead. He says with a laugh. It's the most major art moment of the year. It's her first Met Gala, and we need this to be bigger than what we've done in the past. He says of the gone viral beauty moments they've been creating with artists like Laurel Charleston over the past year. After seeing herself in tonight's final look, Alan Nelson saw Doja Cat register the next level potential in real time. She looked at me, giggled, and asked, "Are you excited?" um, let's see. Uh, yeah, and I think this is just a lot, man. I'm not gonna, not gonna do all this, but I'll do the rest of the review the Met Gala in a future episode. So there you have it right there. All right, so this is from Vogue. This is from Vogue actually. Swae Lee from Ray Shrummered. Here we are. Hold on a second here. Hold on. Here it is. Okay, so Swae Lee revealed to Gilly the Kid and Wallow 267 that one of his first girlfriends left him for a truck driver. Ooh, really? Really? I would be upset too. I would be very upset if that happened to me. You know what I'm saying? I'll be very upset about this too. Believe me. Believe me. Oops. Sorry. All right. When Ray Shrummer stopped by the $1 million worth of game podcast, Sway recalled the moment happening shortly before he and Slim Jimmy moved to Atlanta to work with the Air Drummers. At the time, the duo were living together in Mississippi in a Mississippi apartment with a third person, couldn't afford furniture, and Sway remembered the conversation occurring as they sat on the floor. At around the 1540 mark above, Sway admitted to shedding tears upon hearing his then girlfriend say she couldn't be with him anymore. He disclosed that she left him for a man who worked as a truck driver and earned between $7,000 to $12,000 per month. Whew, damn, damn, that sucks. That sucks though. That really sucks. Yeah, Sway confessed he wasn't making anywhere close to her new boyfriend. Um, Looking back at how everything went down, said he's glad this shit happened to me because it really got me right early. Ray Shrummer dropped Shrum for Life last week, their first project since 2018, Shrum, which featured a joint album as well as solo projects from Sway and Jimmy. Shrum for Life includes production from Mike Will Made It, Zaytoven, Murder Beats, and more, in addition to appearances by Young Thug and Future. Oh boy. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy though, man. But I wouldn't even listen. I wouldn't even worry about that shit though, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing in the music and all that other stuff. And speaking of music, let's see. Let's go to Swizz Beats. Yeah, we're gonna go to Swizz Beats right now. Um, yeah, so Swizz Beats will be feeding listeners once again with new music in the form of his forthcoming HH50 Volume 2 EP, which the producer announced on Tuesday, April 11th, to his fans on social media, sharing the album's title, accompanying artwork, and track list on Instagram. The Bronx native simply wrote, "Let's just get to it," in the caption of the post, which also included its release date um, of April 21st, which already happened. The 5-track EP will be entirely produced by Swizz, with a portion of proceeds from the release being donated to the Universal Hip Hop Museum. Um, Following the first installment of in Mass Appeal's Hip Hop 50 EP series, which was spearheaded by DJ Premier and released in 2022. Swizz's volume will include reunions with a few longtime collaborators as well as work with the rising stars of today. Um, Among the artists featured on the project are Nas, whom Swizz Beats featured on Echo from his 2018 release Poison, as well as Lil Wayne, whom the Boardsmen provided the instrumental to for his latest hit Can't Nobody, featuring a sample of DMX's classic cut, um, Nigga Done Started Something. Fellow Rough Rider Jadakiss pops up for an appearance, as well as Lil Durk, A Boogie with the Hoodie, Fabio Foreign, Benny the Butcher, um, Bandman Real, and Scar Lip. The 44-year-old previously spoke with Vibe about partnering with Mass Appeal for the EP, revealing that Wu-Tang Clan's RZA will also be producing in addition in the series. I'm just getting back into my zone music-wise, he said at the time. I've got a lot of music coming out, a lot of different genres of sounds. I'm just at a point where I just want to have fun with it again and just give people what they want, especially coming off hip hop's 50 and spilling that energy in the room. I was like, man, I want to create some more space for us to be on those stages even more. And of course the track listing goes like this. Um, Run Runway featuring Nas, This Shit Right Here featuring Lil Wayne, Take 'Em Out featuring Jadakiss, Benny the Butcher, and Scar Lip, This City Sound Like featuring Fabio Foreign and Bandman Real, and Say Less featuring Lil Durk and A Boogie with the Hoodie. Well, go check it out for yourselves on Spotify and everything else in between. Um, all right, um let's get into International Tabletop Day, which is coming up real soon, actually. And this is the episode description title is Music Substance in the Water and Board Games. Since we're talking music news and of course this holiday. So let's get into it. Okay. International Tabletop Day, which is June 3rd, 2023, coming up. On the first Saturday in June, gamers unite for International Tabletop Day, which lands on June 3rd this year. We're excited to go all in for our favorite games. Tabletop games have been played for years and they've evolved over the centuries. Battleship, for example, started on paper and in the original. It included land areas and water. Um, Land areas and water. Okay. As time went on, it entered the third dimension as a vertical toy and then went on to become one of the first computer games. Oh boy, what is going on with this shit? Anyway, sorry about that. Um, Apparently my tablet, damn tablet. Okay, here it is. Okay. So the history of International Tabletop Day, in 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 3100 BC, the game of Senate became popular, especially with Egyptian royalty. The 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 game board had 30 squares with symbols that were either good or bad fortune. They believed that depending on which symbols the players landed on would decide their fate outside of the game. If a player was successful, it would mean that they were in the favor of their gods, and it would be a determining factor in their journey through the afterlife. The oldest tabletop game that has virtually remained the same was a game remarkably similar to backgammon. It was called Ludus Dual Dual Decim Script Scriptorum, the game of 12 markings, and it was played during the Roman Empire, much like the modern version. The object is to bear off all of your checkers. The main difference was that there were three dice instead of two. In 1903, one of the one of America's first board game designers, Lizzie Maggie, created the landlord's game where players traveled around a square game board and brought property to be exact. In 1935, she sold her patent to Parker Brothers, and it has been since it has since been known as Monopoly. From then on, Parker Brothers has become synonymous with board games such as Sorry, Risk, and Trivial Pursuit. Fantasy um, tabletop gaming arose in the post Lord of the Rings world as Dungeons and Dragons was first published in 1974 by TSR Incorporated. And tabletop gaming expanded into all different arenas, games of strategy, adventure, board games, and games based on popular franchises flourished and refused to quit. In 2013, International Tabletop Day was created as a result as the web series Tabletop, hosted by famous gamers Will Wheaton and Felicia Day, to celebrate gamers and to play board games with thousands of gaming events held around the globe. Um, okay, and uh, so the International Tabletop Day timeline, 5000 BC, a roll of the dice. In the Middle East, games of chance are played where players dice roll dice made of bones, wood, stones, or turtle shells. 2000 BC, the longest running game, the original backgammon, is played in ancient Rome. 1935, owning properties, Parker Brothers releases Monopoly, and it sparks a wave of board games spanning many types. 2012, the golden age of board games. Popularity for tabletop games increases so much that International Tabletop Day is created a year later to celebrate gamers and to hold gaming events. Of course. So some some that some International Tabletop Day activities. Of course, you can have tabletop meetups. Games are always fun, always more fun, excuse me, when they are played with others. Many tabletop stores hold International Tabletop Day events around the globe where you can meet up with others to play your favorite games. Don't worry if you are not a hardcore gamer. There's sure to be other casual gamers, and those with more experience can provide you with the best expertise. Twitch it up. Meet up with your virtual friends in the virtual world on Twitch. Twitch is the world's leading platform that allows users to watch and chat with millions of fans and share in the love of tabletop gaming. Or if you are bold enough, join the fray yourself and stream your own game. This will really help the day feel international as you are able to connect to others from all around the world. Try a new game. There are so many options for board games, and there's nothing like venturing into the unknown. If you never see, if you've never slain a dragon, try Dungeons and Dragons. Or if you are a fan of horror movies, give Betrayal on House at the Hill a go. There's something for everyone, and it's a great way to bring your family and friends together in a battle of strategy and wit. And some 5 surprising facts about games. Candyland creator, of course, a retired school teacher recovering from polio, created Candyland. Um, Monopoly, it's Monopoly. Board games in 2012 had an annual growth rate of 40%. Brain Trust. Cranium was the first game to be sold at Barnes and Noble and on Amazon. Jenga is from the Swahili word which means to build. And the never-ending game, the longest game of Monopoly lasted 70 straight games. Oh boy. Why is International Tabletop Day important, you ask? Coming together for the sake of fun. There are so many gamers and tabletop games deserving of celebration. These games have endured for centuries and they bring people together in a real way. There's a connectedness when people are face to face or they are teaming up to solve a problem that you can't dismiss. In times of such desperation, separation, it's important to give respect to that which unites us. B, strategy and mental growth. Many tabletop games take skill and concentration to win. You are forced to foresee someone else's moves in order to make the best choice, which makes it a great analogy for life. While you are playing, you are also learning, and doing so has been known to help with memory retention and analytical growth. Um, um, Imagination never dies. While the appeal of the appeal of video games has seemingly taken over in modern era, there's something magical about the classic way. Perhaps it harkens back to ancient times when imagination ruled the day. When you play Dungeons and Dragons, it's your mind that's creating the images and the events as they unfold, bringing you into the story in a way that visual mediums can't. Of course, yeah. So, let's see. Let's see. So, uh, this year, June 3rd, Saturday. Next year, um, June 1st, 2024, 2025, June 7th, which will be a Saturday. Yes. So, okay. What else? Um, let's see. What else we need to talk about here? What else we need to talk about here? What else? What else? What else? Um, yes, the weekend. Yes, the weekend, and then I'll get to Nick Cannon in a sec. Um, Okay, so um okay, so and according to ET Online, the Weeknd's more than a star boy. He's the most popular artist in the world, at least according to the Guinness World Records. On Wednesday, previously known as the Guinness Book of World Records, a reference book published annually listing world records both of human achievements and the extremes of the natural world, declared that the Blinding Lights singer is the most st- statistically um the most popular musician on the planet, citing two new Guinness World Records titles. The records company said that the Weeknd, whose real name is Abel Tesfaye, has not only become the first artist, become the artist with the most monthly listeners on Spotify, ranking in 111.4 million as of March 20th, but has become the first artist on the streaming platform to reach 100 million monthly listeners. Um, okay, GWR, which is Guinness World Records, also notes that the Weeknd currently has almost 30 million more listeners than Miley Cyrus, who came in at second place at 82.4, with Shakira 81.6 million coming in third. Trailing behind them are Ariana Grande 80.6 million, Taylor Swift 80.2 million, Rihanna 78.5 million, and Ed Sheeran, who boasts a total of 77.5 million Spotify listeners. The ranking comes after the release of the Weeknd's Die For You remix featuring Ariana Grande. The remix has gone viral on TikTok and is being used frequently as a sound on the app. The track also hit number one on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming the seventh number one hit for both The Weeknd and Grande, respectively. Outside of music, The Weeknd has been making headlines for his new HBO series, The Idol, following um, a bit of back and forth with music magazine Rolling Stone after the publication claimed that the series had gone wildly, disgustingly off the rails. The 33-year-old Canadian musician spoke out in defense of the project. Shooting back at the report, the Weeknd shared a clip from the series in which his character, a cult leader and self-help guru named Tedros, slams Rolling Stone magazine for being irrelevant. The Weeknd threw additional shade in the caption, writing, "Rolling Stone, did we upset you?" While he appeared to claim that Rolling Stone's negative report about the series is something personal, HBO has also denied the claims made in the article. In a statement to ET, specifically claims regarding why the show's original director, Amy Simets, left the series, why several episodes were allegedly scrapped entirely, and how the Weeknd allegedly had a problem with the show heading toward having too much of a female perspective. The creators of the creators and producers of The Idol have been working hard to create one of HBO's most exciting and provocative original programs. The initial approach on the show and production of the early episodes unfortunately did not meet HBO standards, so we chose to make a change. HBO said in a statement about the project, which now touts Euphoria's Sam Levinson as its director. Throughout the process, the creative team um, has been committed to creating a safe, collaborative, and mutually respectful working environment. And last year, the team made creative changes they felt were in the best interest of both the production and the cast and crew. We look forward to sharing the idol with audiences soon. Of course, several teaser trailers have been released for the series, which is slated to premiere sometime in 2023, but no specific date has yet been announced. So remains to be seen, man. You know what I'm saying? Remains to be seen. Um, let's see. Oh, wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. Did I do? Wait a minute here. Wait. Yes, I forgot to do the subway shooting. I'm sorry. Um, yeah. So I forgot to do the subway shooting. Okay, so um, a Monday night shooting at a Bronx subway station that left a 17-year-old boy dead and another teen wounded was part of a simmering neighborhood gang dispute. Officials said Tuesday. We know that we're dealing with gang violence and crew violence, where we have blocks and developments that are literally fighting against each other, and there are innocent people in the middle of all that conflict, Bronx Borough President Vanessa Gibson said at a press briefing. It is still under investigation, but so far we know that this particular area we have seen in the past, we have crew violence that's been happening in parts of Allenton, Allerton, out of the Sun Hill houses, Eastchester Gardens. Gibson said of Monday's bloodshed. I mean, this is nothing new. Oh boy. Damn, that's crazy. This is some crazy ass shit. This is crazy. This is very crazy. Unfortunately, this is very crazy. This is crazy. Anyway, um anyway, this is stupid. This is very stupid. All right, let's continue where we left off here. Um, let's see. And so we know that this is probably a neighborhood issue. The gunshots broke out around 10 p.m. at the subway station at Burke Avenue and White Plains Road, police said. Um, one teen had one teen was hit in the head and later pronounced dead at Jacoby Hospital, according to cops. The second victim, also 17, was hit in the hip and transported to Jacoby Hospital, where he was listed in stable condition. Um, the NYPD has not released a motive for the shooting as of Tuesday afternoon, but Gibson said it's believed to be tied to neighborhood gang feuds. End quote. I guarantee when we do the investigation and we get all of the individuals involved and identify where they live. I assure you, they probably live in the same neighborhood, probably the same development in terms of public housing, Gibson said. Oh boy. Okay. MTA New York City Transit President Richard Davey, who joined Gibson at the briefing outside Bronx Borough Hall, said there is significant footage of the shooting that was turned over to to police. The footage was the footage has not been made available to the public. Burke Avenue, there were 12 cameras at the station. All were working at the time of the incident, Davies said. We turned over I would just say significant footage to the police as part of their investigation. I know as of this morning, we turned over significant evidence to them. Okay. We are we currently have 10,000 cameras in the subway system, and when you add the buses, it's over 50 cameras. They added. Police have not made an arrest in the shooting. The incident comes as major crimes are down in the city transit system this year through Sunday compared to the same time span in 2022, from 578 crime complaints so far this year compared to 621 last year, a drop of nearly 7% according to NYPD data. But the last month shows an uptick of more than 25% in complaints involving six major crimes, including a nearly 60% increase in grand larcenies, which jumped 57 over the same month in 2022 compared to 91 so far this year. The statistics show. All right, so okay, on to oh boy. Okay, on to Nick Cannon. Hold on a second. Yeah, wait a second. Where's the story? Yes, here it is. On to Nick Cannon, right? Now I was a little reluctant into doing the Jamie Foxx story only because I wanted to wait for the story to develop. So I'm not gonna really so so here's what's happening with Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is filling in for Jamie Foxx as guest host of Fox game show Beat Shazam after the latter remains hospitalized. Um The Masked Singer host will step into Fox's shoes for season 6 of the interactive music show, which is filmed in Ireland. Wow. Cannon shows Cannon knows something about guest host after Niecy Nash Betts stepped into his role on the Masked Singer during the fifth season after he tested positive for COVID. Damn. So Fox was hospitalized 3 weeks ago with a medical complication revealed by his daughter, Corinne Fox. We know how loved he is and appreciate your prayers, she said. Beat Shazam is an interactive game show that pits teams of two against the clock and each other as they attempt to identify the biggest hit songs of all time. The team with the most money banked will compete against the Shazam app for a chance to win $1 million. Wow. $1 million. Yep. Yeah, $1 million. So the series is set to return to Fox on May 23rd, which is going to be a Tuesday coming up. So Mark your calendars, check your local listings. Beat Shazam was created by Jeff Aploff and Wes Carbo and is produced by Aploff Entertainment, MGM Alternative, and Bigger Stage in association with Shazam. Aploff, Mark Barnett, Barry Posnick, Lauren Zala, Zalaznick, Pat Kais, Pat Kiley, Sean Riordan, and Fox serves as executive producers. Beat Shazam has been an unscripted mainstay on the Fox schedule for 6 seasons and coming. This season, not wanting fans of the game show to miss a minute of the fun, Nick Cannon has offered to fill in as guest host for his friends Jamie and Corinne Fox. Kelly Osbourne will be filling in as guest DJ. Everyone at Fox Entertainment wishes Jamie well as he continues his recovery, and we greatly appreciate Nick's willingness to jump in and help this summer. So that's pretty. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope right there, though, man. That's pretty dope. I like to make some noise for Nick Cannon, though, man, for 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 stepping in for Jamie Foxx. Okay, on to the next one. Let's see. Yes, Pharrell's There's Something in the Water. We're gonna do a little recap on that one. Um, a little recap. Let me see something. Yeah, we're gonna do a little recap on that one, and we'll do a little recap on that, and also sorry, yes, if you will. Business host and actor is premiering a new radio show on and is excited about what they'll be bringing to the venture. Cannon recently sat down with ET's Kevin Frazier and what fans can when it comes Monday. We got segments that I don't like to call them hot topic, but it's really like my take on what's going on in pop culture. Cannon shared, but more than anything, we're not just covering pop culture. As for up his team, Cannon Tees, we got DJ Abby De La Rosa, we got Courtney B from Wild Out, Mason on the mic from TikTok. So we got a team of queens. Cannon, a father of 12, shares 3 children with De La Rosa, 1-year-old twins Zion, um, Mixolydian, and Zillion Air, and 5-month-old daughter, beautiful Zeppelin. You'll get to see our bond. You'll get to see why so much love is there. Cannon said of working with De La Rosa. I mean, she's a mother of 3 of my children, but I met her in this space here, working at iHeartRadio, man. And I always was a fan of hers. Working with De La Rosa also means that their kids will be close by. In fact, the kids would be upstairs while were downstairs doing the show. Cannon explained, adding that he thinks there's a good chance they will make an appearance from time to time, especially especially when especially since the twins are running around all over the place. They love it. Cannon said, "We literally call our studio the playroom, so it's toys everywhere, bright colors, so they'll definitely pop in." And of course, you can download the app onto your iPhones and your Android phones alongside with iPads and Android tablets alongside with alongside with everything else in between. Anyway, so that's good. Congratulations to his new show on the radio. And let's get to um the recap of Pharrell's event. Pharrell Williams 2023 Something in the Water 3-day music festival returned to his hometown of Virginia Beach, Virginia for its third year, with a heavy emphasis on the 757's local community and rich music history. It feels so good to be home, Virginia, Williams proclaimed while closing out the second day. Despite delays and the third day of the festival getting canceled due to rain and thunderstorms, SITW's lineup featured some of the music's biggest and brightest, including Lil Wayne, Dolce, Lotto, and K Tranada. K Tranada. There was also a star-studded headlining set of Pharrell's friends, led by Williams and featuring Busta Rhymes, Coi Leray, De La Soul, and plenty of super surprise guests, as well as performances from several Tiny Desk alums, such as the Jonas Brothers, Summer Walker, Bad Bag Not Good, Wet Leg, and more. Um, yeah, so there it is, right there. Wet leg, wet leg. Um, okay, wet leg. What kind of name is that though? Anyway, man. Anyway, let's get to logic. Let's get to logic. Hold on, let's get to logic. All right, so Logic saw the internet hate after his singing cover of Ice Cube's "It Was a Good Day" and decided to double down. The 33-year-old shared. Sorry about that. The 33-year-old shared his yeah, rendition of Bone Thugs and Harmony's "Weed" song this week. The video posted on Tuesday, March 21st, opens with the Rockville, Maryland rapper stepping out of a Maybach in front of his home. He sings along to Bone Thugs classic while navigating his residence and making use of a green screen for some comically corny dancing on his lawn. the college the College Park rapper gets so consumed in the music that he strips down to his boxers and humps the grass. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. Oh my god. Yeah, that part too. Anyway. Oh man. Oh man. Oh shit. So in a more tender moment, the 1-800-273-8255 artist rubs his wife's pregnant stomach while smiling at the camera. No matter what people say about him, Logic is reveling in the good in his life and the joy he derives from making music. Um, Joe Budden was one of the loudest voices among the Logic slander at the release of his It Was a Good Day cover. The retired rapper encouraged young Sinatra to join him in putting his rapping days in the rear view. Logic, beg you, I beg of you, I'm pleading with you. Please join me in retirement, the podcast host said. Never step near a recording device again. Throw your phone in the ocean. Be allergic to microphones. Promise your fans nothing. Don't go to the studio ever again. You are the worst, yo. You are really, really bad. Okay, this obviously Joe Budden is a fucking hater. Obviously, he's a fucking hater, man. Obviously, he's a damn hater, man. And you know, he's really he's really he's really barking up the wrong tree here. So he really is, man. And that's not and I think he's jealous though, man. I feel like he's jealous. He's jealous, man. And that's why he falls flat on his face, man. And of course, some and of course though, man, I don't know, man. This is just ridiculous. It's just fucking ridiculous though, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know, man. He's in his feelings though, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If anybody needs to really if anybody is already need to not be jealous, it's Joe Budden. His crazy ass. His crazy ass is just it's just something else, man. Um oh boy. It's just that's too much, man. Like really. That's too much, man. Like why? Why are you so jealous? I don't understand. I really don't understand though, man. His ass already fell flat on his face for that shit anyway, man. That part too, man. Okay. Oh man. So Logic posted a response on TikTok aimed at all of the negativity and even proposed exploring the idea of an album full of covers. I should do a whole fucking album and just do a whole album of fucking hard ass 90s records and call it Logic Greatest Hits and get all them paid and publishing and take care of all the legends and the goats and the greats from the 90s. Ha! You tell him, Logic. You tell him. You tell him. You tell him, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Let's see what else we got to talk about here before I actually get to wrapping up. Let's see. Um, yes, DC Universe Infinite. Yes, here we go. Yes, DC Infinite. All right, so Um, all right, so okay, so this is DC.com. DC Universe Infinite, the DC Community Forum, and the DC Shop are all ready for May. DC subscriptions service and comic reader currently has a digital library of over 32,000 comics with new titles dropping every week. You can register here for DC Universe Infinite, the primary destination for fans to discover new comics every day, all year long. For fans not currently signed up, registration is free. The world's finest digital comic book reading experience is just clicks away. Speaking of free, one of the rewards that comes with DC Universe Infinite registration is free comics to read before you subscribe. For the next few weeks, dig deeper into DC's line of comics featuring um, double API characters like Monkey Prince, Kong Keenan, aka New Superman, and more. DC updates to the free selection regularly. So bookmark this link and come back soon. So for all DC Universe Infinite subscribers, DC is thrilled to continue offering backlist titles like 1973's Shazam and 1955's The Brave and the Bold for fans to read anytime, with new issues of these classics arriving every month. And for readers that missed picking up print editions of new series like Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, Wildcats, Justice Society of America, and or Blue Beetle Graduation Day. These titles all drop new number one issues digitally throughout May. And for comic book readers wanting the newest comics as soon as possible, these new issues will be going live for all subscribers in May, either the same day as publication for DC's We Are Legends comics or 1 month after their print releases for Green Arrow and Shazam's DC, those Shazam's Dawn of DC launches. So um so two previous things already came out already. So um Spirit World, The Vigil, Green Arrow, May 23rd, City Boy, May 23rd, and Shazam, May 30th. Of course, you can head over to DC Infinite, DC Universe Infinite as DC's premium digital comic book service adds even more fan favorite content to the fan focused service all month long. Hundreds of new comics plus new DC merchandise available in DC shops and exciting new DC community forums make DC Universe Infinite the ultimate fan destination. Below are all the comics arriving on DC Universe Infinite for Ultra subscribers throughout May 2023 with collected editions exclusively on the service for Ultra um, subscribers. Shown bold, special call out to DC's FCB issues available in print Saturday, May 6th, which already happened at your LCS and DC Pride 2023, number one, hitting digitally and in print on May 30th. Okay, so let's go to so obviously everything came out the week. So the week of May 1st, I'm not gonna go through all this. Oh wait, let's go through. So the recap of May 1st: Adventures of Superman, John Kent, Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, Fables, Icon versus Hardware, Poison Ivy, Scooby Doo, Where Are You? The Flash, The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing, Stargirl, The Lost Children, Stormwatch, Creature Commandos, The Brave and the Bold, the New Teen Titans, um, Shazam, Clark and Lex and Fan Club, Batman Squad 2023, FCBD Special, Dawn of DC Night Terrors 2023, Dawn of DC We Are Legends Special Edition, Girl Taking Over, A Lois Lane Story 2023 FCBD Special Edition, and of course Batman Volume 1 Fail Safe, Batman the Doom That Came to Gotham, DC versus Vampire, um, Volume 2. And the week of, let me see. Okay, the week of May 8th, Batman Incorporated, Batman The Adventures continues Season 3, Danger Street, Lazarus Planet, Revenge of the Gods, Mad Magazine, Superman Lost, The Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries, The Sandman Universe, Nightmare Country, The Glass House, Wild Cats, Superboy, The Man of Tomorrow, Creature Commandos, Batman Mask of the Phantasm, The Brave and the Bold, New Teen Titans, Shazam, Spirit World, Batman, Detective Comics, Volume 4, Riddle Me This, Future State Gotham, Volume 3, Batman at War. Week of May 15th, Multiversities, Harley Screws Up, The DCU, Batgirls, Batman, Superman, World's Finest, Black Adam, Catwoman, Deceased, War of the Undead Gods, Nightwing, Static, Shadows of Dakota, Superman, The Flash, Wonder Woman, Creature Commandos, Green Arrow, The Brave and the Bold, New Teen Titans, Shazam, The Vigil, The Girl Taking Over, Lois Lane Story, The Batman Who Laughs, the Deluxe Edition, The Jurassic League, Wonder Woman Who is Wonder Woman, the Deluxe Edition. Um, okay, I'm gonna save the rest. I'm gonna save the rest of this for next week. So stay tuned for that one. I want to get to. I want to get to. I want to get to. What is it? I want to get to. Hold on a second. Yeah, I want to get to the movie Man Cave. Um, Hold on a second. Guardians of the Galaxy still holds. Hold on. Still holds in first place in the movie box office. Okay, here we go. So here we go. We're gonna go into the segment movie Man Cave. Here it is right here. Um so okay, so here it is. Let me just set up this thing right here. I'm sorry, hold on. Yeah, here it is. Okay, all right, let's get into it right here. So, all right, let me see. So, um, And this is from GoldDerby.com, by the way. Many new movies were released nationwide over Mother's Day weekend. Not that you know it. Based on how poorly most of them did, trying to take on Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in its second weekend. After a moderately decent opening weekend, the conclusion of James Gunn's outer space superhero trilogy remained in first place for a second weekend with $60.5 million, down just 49% from its opening weekend. The best a Marvel movie has held up since the Slamdemic. Over the weekend, it crossed $200 million domestic with $213.2 million, but it has continued to do bigger business overseas, allowing it to cross the $500 million mark worldwide in less than 2 weeks. This weekend, it made another $91.9 million internationally to bring its global total to $528.8 million, with $315.6 million of that coming from overseas markets. We'll have to see how well it holds up in its last few days before Fast 10 opens and takes away many of its large format screens across the world. Huh. Yeah. Remains to be seen, right? Universal's animated The Super Mario Brothers movie continues to fear no newcomers as it held up well in second place in with $13 million, down 30% from last weekend, with $536 million gross just in North America, with this $674.5 million made overseas, $26.1 million just this weekend. The animated blockbuster has already passed the $1.2 billion mark globally. With the current domestic take, Super Mario Brothers has zoomed past Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight to become the 15th highest grossing movie of all time. At least domestically, needless to say, it's going to be the movie to beat for the upcoming summer releases. The biggest new release of the weekend was Focus Features' mom friendly comedy secret book club, The Next Chapter, but it failed to find much business opening with almost half what the original opened with in 2018. After Thursday previews of $500,000, the movie starring Diane Keaton, Jane Fonda, Candice Bergen, and Mary Steenburgen only made $6.5 million in 3,508 theaters, less than $2,000 average per with critics' thoughts adding up to just 45% on Rotten Tomatoes, while its B cinema score does not look promising for the movie's long-term legs, especially once Disney's The Little Mermaid opens in just 2 weeks, which is May 26th. Um, the horror remake Evil Dead Rises, the rated R horror movie, dropped to fourth place with $3.7 million, down 37% from the previous weekend, but with a running domestic total of $60.2 million in North America. That's not bad for a relatively low budget horror film originally intended for streaming. Um yeah, um Hypnotic and John Wick Chapter 4, um still holding it down in the box office, rounds up the top 5. Actually, and there's Blackberry, Knights of the Zodiac, um, Sunny, um, the Stalling Girl, and of course the Monica and the Yogi Berra documentary. It ain't over. Um, rounds up the top 10. All right. Rounds up the top 10. So there it is. So, um, let me see. Yeah, I think we could wrap up right here. Fun things to do for the weekend, man. Fun things to do for the weekend. Fun things to do for the weekend. Let me just get to that right here real quick. Real quick. Real quick. Um yeah. Um okay. Fun activities, okay. 243. Okay, fun activities to do for the weekend. Here it is. Here it is. Fun activities to do for the weekend. Um, of course. Hold on a second here. All right, fun activities to do for the weekend. You have the New Bronx Tech Week, free panels, hackathon, and pitch contest. Um, and then you have the East Village Fun City Tattoo to host its first Flash weekend from May 19th to the 21st. First, let's break down the Bronx Tech Week. All right, so the Bronx Tech Week. So, a new series of free tech related events is coming to the Bronx next week, and what organizers are calling Bronx Tech Week. The program, which runs from May 15th to the 20th, includes two panels, a pitch competition, and a hackathon for high school students. Organizers George Nunez and Daniel Nicholson, who are both from the Bronx, want to make technology more accessible to Bronxites. Nunez, a product manager, and Nicholson, a startup lawyer, were the masterminds behind the first borough-wide themed TEDx event last year. I'm not gonna get into too much detail of this, but you can actually look at this for yourself. Um, you can look at this for yourself actually on the BronxTimes.com, which is pertaining to the new Bronx Tech Week, and also East Village Fun City Tattoo. Yes. So this is so if you want to go to it, this is basically located at 4 open its doors in the 1980s by Jonathan. The traditional Japanese minimalism and black imagery, and primarily in writing film. Yes, so yes, 1 week. It starts from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. each day. Customers can sit down with the shop's artists, including Tessa BX, Ryan E. Illegal Tattoos, Jesus Antonio, and Joel Baca, and get a new Flash design tattooed. Of course, prices for the Flash tattoo designs will begin at $200 and up throughout the weekend, and the shop will offer limited edition Fun City tattoo tees that will be available for $40. And of course, for more information, you can go to For more information about Fun City Tattoo, you can go to www.funcitytattoo.com, and of course you can go to www.amny.com/entertainment/things to do/East Village Fun City Tattoos, so you can take a look at the pictures, and also don't forget to take a look at the new Bronx Tech Week in the Bronx Times website. So there you have it right there. There you have it right there. We're gonna wrap up here. We're gonna wrap right here. So here we go, right here. All right. So, one more segment we gotta do is we have to do. Okay, stream choices on the go is the last segment of the night. So let's get into it right here. So, just bear with me. Trying to finish as fast as I can. Trying to finish as fast as I can, actually. Okay. Yeah, stream choices on the go, man. Let's go. Let's go. All right, folks. Yeah, I know what to do. Yeah. Y'all enjoyed this episode right here, and you like the topics. That's mean the second fun activities to do for the 3-day weekend that I just provided y'all with some relief from your stressful jobs, family drama, and everything else in between. So I got y'all with that one right there. I didn't have time to do Los Angeles because of time constraints. So anyway, I'll do that next week for fun activities to do for the week and the weekend. So I got y'all with that, as well as New York, as well as Los Angeles, and wherever else that I could provide some fun activities to do for weekend and week as a relief. So there you have it right there. Follow the show Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York. You can follow the show on Facebook and Instagram, Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York podcast. And alongside with my sports podcast show, which is Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the review show Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast, and also alongside myself is G Money Stacks, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. And turn on your notifications for more details, more information, questions that I might leave in the Insta story, highlights, and everything else in between. And yeah, I'm actually let you in on where you can listen to the podcast episodes. So here we go. If you go to the link in bio, it's gonna say Linktree/G Money Stacks 555, and you're gonna see a whole list of audio streaming platforms that I want you to download to your iPhones, Android phones, iPads, Android tablets, laptops included, Apple and Dell laptops along Windows. So starting with Audacity, Audible, Audio Burst, Amazon Music Breaker, Bullhorn FM, Castbox FM, these are Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Pod Bay, Pod Friend, Pod Hound, Podo Polo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Pod Chaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podvine, Spotify for podcasters, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, for music, radio, and podcast. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download this app. Of course, make sure you follow this podcast and along with my other two podcasts that's also on iHeartRadio as well. And of course, finally, make sure you grab that subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel pages of G Money Stacks 555 Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast and the sports YouTube channel page of Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. Of course, be sure to click the noti bell alongside with alerts so you can be reminded when the show goes on the air via live stream along with the date and time. And stay tuned for more content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes for you to catch up on. And of course, download the episodes, share the videos, share the episodes, listen, stream, watch these episodes, and of course, tell a friend to another friend, and of course, spread the word. Word of mouth is important, and of course, share the link, including Linktree / G Money Stacks 555 alongside with podcast with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, the people you cool with from work, and wherever you meet new people, whether it's bar, block parties, amusement parks, carnivals, festivals, birthday parties, wherever you meet new people, man. All right. And that's gonna do it for me, man. Energy Stacks, aka the Greg in there. Thank you much for listening and tuning in and rocking with me. You could have listened to any podcast in the whole world, but you chose to listen to this podcast whatsoever. And I appreciate every single one of you who helped push this viewership to past 4,000 views on YouTube. I appreciate every single one of you who took the time to listen. And of course, you can leave a voice message on the topics that was discussed. Tell us what you think about it, whatsoever. The podcast itself is on Spotify for podcasters and everything else in between. And I just and also, if you like to look at the office hours for Spotify for podcasters in terms of the tools and everything in between, you can go to their link on their page and schedule the day and time and everything else in between, so you could take a look and watch and leave out questions and links and stuff. So there you have it right there. Yeah. Remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. You want something, you have to work hard and earn it. New York wasn't built in a day, and everybody starts from the bottom, like Drake says in his song. And in the words of Ivy Rivera, you got to validate yourself. You can't expect people to validate you, but you. Also, make sure you basically look for something, find something, find your voice, find your niche, find your niche, and be sure to not give up on yourself and your craft. Keep it pushing. Don't let anybody stop you or discourage you or anything like that whatsoever. And of course, do what makes you smile creatively, mentally, physically, spiritually, that gets you into your zone alongside with time. So there you have it right there, man. I'm up out of here. Thank you very much for listening to episode 266 of Off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Avenue podcast. I appreciate every single one of you for listening and helping me. And I'm going to continue to have fun with this. And I know many podcasters out there is actually going to do the same as well. So, don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the number of subscribers, the views, and everything else, and just have fun. I'm going to do that. So there you go. Peace and one love. Enjoy your weekend. Be careful. Be safe. Good night, everybody. And don't forget to reach out to one another, because you never know when somebody might be going through something mentally, physically, and spiritually. All right, man. Nighty night, everybody.